welcome into the Sunday edition of the Greater Houston Area Ranking Scoreboard. We're going to go over the scores from the weekend and look at how those might affect the rankings when they're released tomorrow. So let's get right to it. We'll start off with a quick cap on Thursday's game where North Shore were 6A number 1 North Shore, number 2 Katy, number 12 Klein Collins, number 16 Jersey Village, number 18 Deer Park, number 20 Hightower, and number 21 Clear Falls were all winners. In 5A, Fort Bend Marshall, Foster, Galveston Ball, and Brenham were all winners. 4A, number 3 Lumberton, number 2 Silsbee were winners. In 3A, number 2 Orangefield and number 7 East Chambers were winners. And in non-UAL 11-man action, number 7 Houston Second Baptist was the winner. In Friday's action, number 4 Westfield, number 5 Shadow Creek, number 6 The Woodlands, number 7 Tompkins, number 8 Ridge Point were all winners. Number 9 Dickinson fell to Clear Creek. Number 10 Stratford fell to Houston Memorial. Number 11 New Caney was a winner. Number 14 Summer Creek over number 13 CEK. Number 23 Clear Springs was a winner, as was number 25 Pearland Dawson. In 5A action, number 9 Fulshire over number 2 Manville. Number 5 Port Arthur Memorial over number 11 Barbers Hill. Number 6 Port Neches Groves over Nederland. Number 7 Angleton over number 10 Magnolia West. And number 15 Texas City was a winner. In 4A action, number 1 Belleville, number 4 Jasper were winners. Number 5 El Campo over number 7 Stafford. Number 8 Royal and number 9 Hampshire for that were winners. 3A action, number 4 Hallettsville takes down number 1 Hitchcock. Number 6 Tidehaven over number 8 Bowling. Number 9 Van Vleck over East Bernard. Number 10 Brazos over Danbury. In 11-man action, number 1 St. Thomas was a winner. Number 5 Kincaid beats number 4 St. John's. Number 3 Bel Air Episcopal, that game was canceled, will not be made up. It was a non-district game. Number 6 Cypress Christian and number 8 Fort Bend Christian were winners. And number 9 the Woodlands Christian took down number 10 Lutheran South. In 6-man Super 6 action, number 1 Pasadena First Baptist over number 3 Conroe Covenant, and number 2 Baytown Christian over Divine Savior. And we move on to yesterday's action where number 15 Cy-Fair 51-0 over Cy Ridge. Number 17 Klein Kane 42-7 over Waller. Number 19, Cy Ranch, 57-23 over Langham Creek. Number 12, Dayton, 50-21 over Willow Ridge. 4A action, number 10, Houston, Washington, 62-40 over Worthing. And 6-man Super 6 action, number 4, Sugarland Logos Prep over San Antonio St. Mary's Hall. And number 6, Fort Bend Chargers, 64-28 over the Austin Royals. Open this week in 6A was number 22 Houston Lamar, number 25 Cinco Ranch. In 5A, number 3 Lake Creek, number 13 Kingwood Park. In 3A, number 2 Columbus, number 5 Anahuac. In 11-man, number 2 John Cooper. And in 6-man, number 5 Houston Texas Christian. So now let's move and take a look at what that looks like from a rankings perspective. Number 1, North Shore. Number 2, Katy were winners. Number 3, Atascocita lost a close one to North Shore. Then number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 were winners. Number 9, Dickinson, and number 10, Stratford both lost. Number 13, Summer Creek took down number 14. Summer Creek took down number 13. CE King. The bottom half of the top 25 all winners. So don't look for a lot of change there. Look for some movement here in the top half with Atascocita and especially Dickinson Stratford losing. Look for some move ups there. With the very bottom beating off or winning, don't look for any new teams in the top 25. 5A. Number 2, Manville falls to Fulshire. Number 10, Magnolia West, and number 11, Barbers Hill fall. Now we got to account for 10-5 AD1. We'll be doing a lot of in-depth analysis on who's beaten who. It's a real round robin over there, but look for Angleton and Fulshire both to move up because they have emerged as the top teams in 10-5A. Look for Manville to fall somewhat at the very bottom with Dayton, Brenham, and Texas City winning, and Kingwood Park being open. Don't look for any new teams in the top 25 this week, top 15 this week. For a 4A action, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Don't look for any changes at the top. But number 6, Little Cypress Murraysville lost to a team above them in Lumberton. Number 7, Stafford lost to a team above them in El Campo. 8, 9, and 10 were all winners. Look for some changes here in the bottom half. But again, don't look for a new team as the 8, 9, and 10 teams were all winners. And the one that's going to be really, really hard. Number 1, Hitchcock loses to Hallettsville. Number 8, Bowling beats Tidehaven. So in 3A, we now have a situation where Hallettsville beat Hitchcock but lost to Columbus. Columbus beat Hallettsville but lost to Hitchcock. Hitchcock beat Columbus but lost to Hallettsville. So those 3 teams very, very close to each other. There will be some movement here in the rankings, and I'll figure that out once I take some headache medication and try and figure out where those teams belong in the rankings. Then down here at the bottom, the only loss was Bowling to a higher ranked Tidehaven team, so maybe a little movement at the bottom, but again, the very bottom wins, so don't look for any new teams to enter the rankings in 3A. Now we go to 11-man action. St. Thomas won, John Cooper Open, Bel Air had their game canceled against Roseville Christian. Won't be any changes at that part. But Kincaid takes down St. John's, and importantly, that puts them in the SPC championship game next week. So do look for Kincaid to move in front of St. John's. Cypress Christian, Second Baptist, Fort Bend Christian, Woodlands Christian, all winners. Very bottom, Houston Lutheran South falls to the Woodlands Christian. Woodlands Christian's right in front of them. This is going to be very borderline to whether Houston Lutheran South stays in the rankings or we have a new number 10. So tune in tomorrow, and I'll have that figured out by then. And then finally in our 6-man Super 6 action, number 1, Pasadena First Baptist. Number 2, Baytown Christian were winners. Number 3, Conroe Covenant fell to Pasadena First Baptist. That's a very good Pasadena First Baptist team that's ranked higher than Conroe Covenant. Might be a little change up in the rankings here in the middle. Number 4, Sugarland Logos Prep winner. Houston Texas Christian Tigers were open. Fort Bend Chargers were winners. So maybe a little movement in the middle, but again, since the bottom 3 teams won. Don't look for any new teams to enter the 6-man Super 6 rankings. So tomorrow, rankings will be released. Follow me on Twitter at TXHSFB. From 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., we'll be releasing the rankings for the 6A teams. From 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., we'll be releasing the rankings for the 5A team. 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. will be our 4A rankings. 11 a.m. to noon will be our 3A rankings. Noon to 1 will be our non-UL 11-man rankings. And from 1 to 2, we'll be releasing the rankings for the 6-man Super 6. That wraps it up for the Sunday edition of the Greater Houston Area Scoreboard Show. Big week as we enter week 11 for UIL and TAPS teams, and then the SPC championship games. A lot of scenarios, a lot of different ways teams can make the playoffs, a lot of different ways teams can miss the playoffs. Follow me on Twitter, TXHSFB. I'll be doing a lot of analysis on the playoffs and the scenarios leading up to the playoffs. Also, tune back into this channel. We'll be doing some analysis on the same scenarios and going in depth into what gets the team into the playoffs and what causes them to miss the playoffs. So stay tuned to this YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter. Check out txhsfb.net. We'll be going lots and lots of coverage this week.